My grandfather, my mother's father, he was called like the king of the ocean, taking off Pelamun and the Venus, we call Klipkos,
Yes. the
and
clippers.
Gaps and Sea Cat. He did that for the bait for the fishermen, the Sea Cat. And he taught me from the age of 9 years old to go with him with our the onion bag that had to be washed out, and I've got my onion bag and he's got his bag, and then with a poker he used to show me, he used to teach me, I want you to go out, go in underneath there without snorkels or anything, and you put the poker in and you put it in between the pelamun and take it out. That is where the food came from, where there was 6 months of the year it was good. Winter time there was hardly seagoing. There was no seagoing boats to go to sea because it was
The weather was
storms.
bad and stuff.
Then he even sold that to people in the flats. I remember Mrs. Dakami, Auntie Molly had to have two dozen, and Mrs. Kuhn, he had everything on the book, who bought his seafood. And that is how they lived. Peter Scow, he was a fisherman, but then he started getting fits and he had to get off the boat. And that is what he did afterwards for a living. Yes, he was in 2 world wars, and he was in the horse brigade, the last one. He was in the horse brigade because I used to go with to Cape Town when they had that Veterans Day with his suits and his medals, and he used to walk down there. I had to wait on that stoop in Adley Street for him. He used to say, "Dude, just wait there, sit there and wait for me." And he used to walk down all those old soldiers that went to war. Yes, shame. He was always so smart when he went to that, all dressed up, all of those old colored corps, they used to call them. You know, we got married very young. I was just 19, just 19. And I think Christy was about 22 years. And, but I don't know, we survived. We survived because we used to go and take off that seafood from the rocks as a supplement for food. And we, the whole lot of Kalk Bay, there was a Mancha Almazan. And when it was low tide, she used to come at the top. She walked from the flats to Windsor Road at the top there, and she used to whistle. And I come out, and she said, right, and then we used to go down to go and take off. And that day, it was me, Lorna, it was the Irisbys. It was Lillian Irisby, Millie Irisby, Lorna Della Cruz, me, Mancha. There was about 10 or 12 of us. It was Isa. Mari was there. It was one of the younger ones because as we were taking off our cups and stuff, I looked up with my bag and I looked into this guy standing there with his khaki uniform, big boer, looking down, and he said, "Gooi daai terug in." And I looked at him because we didn't know about any law, because we never ever depleted. We just took off what we needed. And look, there's still, the rocks are still full of it. I went to swim last Monday, and we were going down there to the jetty, and I told Gloria, look here, but we didn't have anything to take off because now we will be fined if we take it. There have to be a permit and all. But you can see, if you know it, you will see exactly if you look down in between the rocks what it looked like. My grandfather taught me that what to look out.
So it was like
What to look out
passed down
for.
from generation
Yes,
to
because
generation.
you know exactly that's a pelamun, and that you can see the little green eyes of the clipcoats and the yellow of the pelamun, so you take it off. But I must tell you what happened to us that day. We had to leave. He said, no, take it back because you're all going to jail now. And they had 2 police vans standing there on the road there by St. James when you walk up to that Danger Beach, you know, the Danger Beach, you walk up that stairs there, the police vans were standing there. And we were all loaded into the police vans, half wet with our shorts and stuff on, with our pelamun, taken to the police station in Muizenberg. And this young magistrate, and he said, no, wat gaan dan nou hier aan? Nobody answered. Mari was the first to cry. We still talk about it when we go on holidays here to Mykonos. And Million laughed and Million said, Mari, tell them what Asa told that man. And we looked at it and he said, why you people doing this? And not him, the policeman said, no. He was a very nice, soft magistrate. And he looked at us, he said, why? He said, we're taking it off for food. As you can see, the boats is not going to sea. This is all fishermen's wives and fishermen's daughters that is taking this off. We're going to make food for them till the wind slacks down and the boats can go out again. And he said, right, no, this is, why are you taking undersized perlamoen? So Asa Fortune said, meneer, daai's nie 'n baby perlamoen nie. Daai is a klipkous. If you don't understand what I'm saying, I don't know what's the English name for it, but we call it a rock stocking. And he laughed and he said, are you trying to make a fool of me? He said, no. Here's a perlamoen and here's that. Here's a klipkous. You can see the difference. A perlamoen looks like this, like a perlamoen when it's a baby. A klipkous. But we don't take off the small ones because we throw it back. We take off the bigger ones that's as big as eye. It gets measured in your hand. And if it's too small, you throw it back. And for all the years we've been doing it, and there is still, because we just take off enough. It was never ever that we are going to take off it. We can't carry. Just everybody just took off enough for a pot of food. But you know what we did? When we went back, he told us to walk. We can all walk home now. And we went down Danger Beach and we went to pick it up again because it was just there in the crevices. And we walked all along to Kalk Bay Beach and we went up there. And we went home and we made our food. He used to make curry. And Uncle Arrange used to have this big mincer. And he used to mince it and then they make fish cakes, fricadelle with that. Put it there, cleaned it. It was a hard job cleaning it. And he used to come and mince it and onion and bread and everything and made. He was an expert in making fricadelle with the klipkous. But the perlamoen was the fry. You had to fry that. That was all fried. And you must know how to fry perlamoen. No, they used to chop it softer. With the hammer. You used to chop it soft and quicker fry with it. Soft and tender. Gaps and the kirkel. That used to boil and you take it out and you put it in the chili and the vinegar and the onion in there. And it stand and then they used to eat it out like a pickle. It's very nice. Before the storms really set, like now you'll find, if you go now, I don't know if you get the snook. They used to call it the China snook, the Chinese snook. It's much smaller than the normal snook. And he used to cut it in 4 or in 3 and he make moortjies. That is how they used to put it in a barrel. And it gets clean. There mustn't be a speck of blood in the and they used to salt it, dead salt, and pack it in this barrel. And it gets closed. Uncle Arrange taught me how to do it then. It get closed and it must be closed for about a week. If they open it, now you only open it if you're going to need it. Then it gets thrown in, put into water overnight. It gets washed off and gets put into water overnight. And maybe tomorrow morning again it gets a boil. You throw that water off because now you've got a moortjie and you make cabbage food with it. That is how the fishermen live. You can make a smoortjie with it, and to make the smoortjie with the onions and the tomato with it and put it on top of the rice. Meals, they salt, they preserve that in the snook, in that. They call it the moortjies. I was telling them now last week, if I must get, you can't do it with the fat snook because it gets old in the salt. It gets like a rotten. But that they used to, that's the Chinese snook used to do, chop, cut it up like in pieces, fold it up and then put it back in a barrel in the salt. Oh, I used to love it when it's now been in the water and it's had a boil. Sure. Opa can remember, Terry used to take it out in the kitchen and wash the salt off and lay it in water, throw the water off and come lay it back in water. You want to make food, you put a potatoes in it with it like that. He liked his boiled. He used to like it boiled and eat it with vinegar, with a potato in. Like Clarine's made a cabbage food with it. Yeah, no man, that is all gone. They didn't just uproot us and throw us out of our heritage. Even that food was taken away that we had to take. People don't know about that. And they say that actually started with the Khoisan, you know. Our parents and everybody, we could go to the beach and go swim every 5 minutes. We ran from the road over the railway line, jumped on the beach, go and swim and everything and back home. But a woman was never allowed to go stand on the harbour. They just had that. It's not nice for a woman to go and wait and stand on the harbour. Now you see women catching fish, and the old people believe no woman must be on a boat. Oma had a cafe on the harbour and she had to sell things on the harbour, but they never stood there where the men were. We were never standing on the harbour, come to think of it. When Christy had a boat, we came from home, walked down, got on a boat, went to everybody and they honey them all when you go catch in Strandfontein, throw down your line, we catch, what did they catch in South Couple? Joe there, and then we go to round the corner to Simonstown, there by the Guari and catch Ruman, all of them, Alice of them all with a line. They were all still so young, but the problem was the boat get tied up, you go back home. You never neglect them. Nobody know about standing on the harbour.